you definitely going to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to meet with him, and you will be asked, what did you do about this? I can say to you, and with a conviction, and I swear to it, wallahi, wabillahi, watallahi, we will be asked in a selfish way, in a very selfish way. Forget about the Sudanese people, forget about the Palestinian people, forget about the Yemeni people, forget about the Libyan people, about the Kashmiris, or the Rohingya, or the Chinese. Forget about all these people. Just you. Just you. How are you going to answer to this in the day of judgment? Hi, I've been away for a while from social media and from recordings and so on, because I was busy on the ground chasing a lot of things for Sudan and Gaza as well. So been traveling lately and participating in the human rights in the UN. But I found it's very important to record this video specifically for the Muslim as awakening call and an advice. But before I go into this, I remember in the year 2006, 2007, I used to volunteer a lot with some of the activities here in London. And I remember a brother who was busy with us in that time in the event we host and so on. More he was involved in Al-Fitra activities. That brother, I remember, he got married. He was a young man in the beginning of the 20s. He got married to a sister, also both of them born here in London and in the beginning of their 20s. And they went for their honeymoon. And when they were abroad, within the first 2 weeks, or I believe, he fell sick and he went for checkup, and they discovered that he got cancer in his stomach. So straight away they came back, and the journey of suffering started. Not many months later, the brother passed away. And I remember I was leading the prayer for Eid. It was the second year that we host one Eid. It was in Greenford, and I was leading the prayer when the announcement was said by Brother Jalal that this brother passed away in the Eid day. So may Allah have mercy on his soul, and may Allah give him shahada for it, because it is one of the categories of shahada. After months, I got in touch with somebody, one of the sisters around his wife, to check on her and how things and so. She told me that she's not doing well. She's sort of going through very hard time mentally and so on. So I wrote her a letter. In that letter, I wrote I didn't know in the beginning what to say. But all of a sudden came an idea that God, Allah put in my heart an idea that actually write her own story. And how inspiring it is for others, that whoever having hardship, when they see this kind of turbulence and hardship, their problem will feel smaller. And her patience and perseverance that will encourage others. But I ended the letter with a question. That question is that in the letter I said I told her about the couple, how they went through, what they went through, and so on. But that's her own story. I ended up the letter saying, but my question is, and that is what I was thinking of in that time, and I still, that who was being tested? Is it the husband? Or is it the couple? Or is the wife? Who's the test was for? The husband, who had that awful disease, and I ask Allah that he had gained shahada from it, because I can testify that he was a good young man, very good practicing, and he is full with energy and full with love and care for humanity in general and for the Muslims, and he's so active in the da'wah and so on. Or for the wife, the one who she just got married and started the journey of joy and happiness with her husband, and all of a sudden this happened. So she got married about 2 weeks, and she went through all this and so on. So who is the test for? Now, the sister got the message. She understood it, and alhamdulillah, she straight away she came out of it. And yeah, I believe that time I am just a vessel. I passed the message, and it helped her out. Hopefully it was my letter, but she came out and she started active again, and in the da'wah, and a lot of things, and a lot of goods came from that sister, which I believe she's still active. Now, the same question arises lately, because for the Muslims, we've been going through very hard time. People in Kashmir, people in Rohingya, India, the Muslim in the West, America now, the people in Gaza, Yemen, in Sudan, Libya, Syria, Iraq, all these places, all this suffering, huge, immense suffering. And I can speak for days, not hours, for days, months, about what's going on in Sudan. Not because I know, because I've been there. I lived it. I felt it. I felt the torture. I felt the pain. I felt the hunger. I felt the fear. And I saw the death. The people with me were assassinated. So I lived it. when I was captive there. And I know, because I know most of the people, I know they between displaced and killed. And so, but in the same time, 99% or 90% of the Muslims, they don't know nothing about it. They know nothing about what's going on in Sudan. They only know what they're being told by the same people who are killing the Sudanese people. The same people, they started the war in Sudan. They control the media, and they keep telling that it's civil war. Sudanese people, Muslim killing other Muslims. And the Sudanese people, they're killing each other. That's nonsense. That's not what's happening in Sudan. What's happening in Sudan is the same like what's happening in Gaza. The same people behind what's going on in Gaza is the same people behind what's going on in Sudan. Is the same. Just in you have in Gaza people like Abu Shabab and these and IDF and so on. In Sudan, you have the RSF, and you have somebody like Hameti, like Abu Shabab in Gaza, and you have Colombians, you have Chad people, Niger people, Libyans, and so on, fighting in Sudan, killing Sudanese people. That's not civil war. UAE is involved, is the main player. Yeah, UAE is not having soldiers on the ground. They do have officers on the ground, but they're running the show in behalf of others. They're spending their own money, and they're acting in behalf of others, killing the Sudanese people. But what is that relevant to you? How is it relevant to you? As Muslims, yeah, or a human being, whatever injustice you need to know about. But that is not what I'm talking about today. My advice to you is not for that. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِنِ اسْتَنْصَرُوكُمْ فَعَلَيْكُمُ النُّصْرَةِ. If they ask you for help, you have to help. Not you have the choice. No. You have to. Full stop. You have to answer the call. And I remember I had a Saudi friend. He is a debt collector. He's not like in the West. He go to the person, he say, yeah, you have this debt. You have one or two. Either you pay it now, and this is the bank account you deposit it to, or you pay it in the hereafter. It's your call. Where do you want to pay? Now or in the day of judgment? And he's like that. If you say to him, actually I want to pay it in the day of judgment, he say to him, okay, good luck. And he leaves. He will never ask again. Ever. He will just forget about that debt. And some ignorant people, they will behave like that. That they choose the day of judgment. And that's pure ignorance. And if they choose to pay now, but they say, okay, I don't have the money now, he will go into discussion on how to make it easy on the person. And that's how he was. He was really, really good guy. His name is Al-Faiz. Anyway, back to our subject. The same thing is to you. You either answer the call now or you answer to Allah. So it's simple as that. Either you answer or you will answer there. Because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. It doesn't matter where you are. It's your responsibility. Now, I give you some statistics, just numbers. And you just think of it, and then I'll tell you why I said it. You have over 300,000 civilian, children and women and elderly, been killed. Over 300,000. That is what is being recorded. There's a lot of people dead in their houses and being buried, and nobody knows where they are, because there is tens of thousands of people. Nobody knows where they are. They disappeared. There is families being just thrown into the sewage, in the wells. Families. And they found a couple of families. That's how evil is that. Now, you have 25 million Sudanese people being displaced internally and externally. 13 million of them, they being displaced, and they lost all their possessions in this dunya. Everything. 13 million. You have over 10,000 women being raped. Some of them, or more than half of them, gang raped. Same number of young women being captured in the center of Sudan, and they disappeared. They being sold in Darfur and in Central Africa and in Chad and in Niger. Muslim women. That is happening right now. You have incidents like what Yale University said or published, that places like Wad Noura and Al Fashir and Al Jinaina in Sudan, that you see the blood on the ground from the satellite, from space. They see the piling of dead people when they entered into Al Jinaina and Al Fashir, that they pile the people, that they see them from space in the satellite images. They published that, Yale University, that they actually predict the numbers because they just measure the size of the corpse on the ground, on that pile. So they think here roughly how much, how many here, how many there, and so. Within one day, 15,000 in Al Jinaina. And these people, these nutters, they film their killing and stuff. People in 2023, they watched in CNN and BBC a Sudanese woman in Khartoum being raped on TV, and nobody done anything. Nothing. So these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us all about this. It doesn't matter where you are. We will be asked. We have to answer for all this bloodshed. Not because we are involved, we are not. But we had to stand up for this. If the media engine or the powers that actually committing all these crimes against our brothers and sisters and our children does not allow this to be published or the people to talk about. That's not an excuse for us not to seek to find out what's going on to our brothers and sisters. The Prophet ﷺ said, مثل المسلمين في توادهم وتراحمهم كمثل الجسد الواحد إذا اشتكى منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والحمى. That the example of the Muslims in their companionship and compassion and mercy and love is like a single body. Whenever this body, a small part of it, had disease or infection or suffer, the rest of the body join in with fever and pain. Now, I can say to you, and with a conviction, and I swear to it, Wallahi, Wabillahi, Watallahi, we will be asked in the day of judgment on all of this. Where were you? What have you been doing towards it? What was your action? You have disagreement with this person or that people or this group, I don't like them and so on. That is not an excuse. You have a duty, a complete duty towards these people to stand up for them, shed the light on it, to be active on it, to feed them. Sudanese people, I've been working on this since I came out of captivity. And for 23, 24, not a single organization from any organization entered Sudan. None. We had I established, because of that, I ended up establishing Helping Hands, Sawa'id, and it was the only one working back then, with other kitchens that established by other Sudanese in areas that is to feed the people on the ground, literally. Even the United Nations did not help. What the Sudanese people went through and they are going through now is unprecedented. It is not one of the worst calamities or crises. It's not the second. It is the worst. And yet, you know nothing about it. And I am one of the people that actually we've been screaming out. We've been calling out. But most of the people, they listen, but they're not listening. They hear, but they're not hearing. The crisis is so huge, but in a selfish way, in a very selfish way, forget about the Sudanese people, forget about the Palestinian people, forget about the Yemeni people, forget about the Libyan people, about the Kashmiris, or the Rohingya, or the Chinese. Forget about all these people. Just you. Just you. How are you going to answer to this in the day of judgment? You definitely going to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to meet with Him, and you will be asked, what did you do about this? The sad reality is, I did meet with a lot of brothers, and I spoke to them. I invited so many for talks, and we invited them to speak out, and they didn't. They speak out in a way like to please their conscience. But the most they avoid it. It's too hot. They're afraid for their career. They're afraid for that they will be demonetized. They're afraid that actually they will be flagged or so on. Come on. Nobody is afraid about the question in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment. That when we have to answer to what did we do about it, we have to be prepared as a Muslim. That is the least what we can do. The scholars, they said, the pillars of Islam are 5, but there is a 6th pillar, which is the unanimously agree on, which is al-amru bil-ma'ruf wal-nahy 'ala al-munkar. And there is no bigger than enjoining the good and forbidding the evil than forbidding the evil of killing. The forbidding of evil of killing of Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ said, it's beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the Kaaba to be dismantled stone by stone than a single drop of blood of a Muslim. People say, don't realize that. The Prophet ﷺ said that the person, he's in a big space to commit sins. ما زال العبد في فسحة من أمره, that he got a big room to commit sins. ما لم يصب دما حراما, as long did not shed blood. As soon as you reach that, oh, that is big. This is one of the things which is after shirk. And this is the first thing, that is the day of judgment. The accountability will be on. That is the first, the Prophet ﷺ, the awwal al-mawazin, that is the first thing on the scale that there will be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala judge between the people with, which is against the other people, is the bloodshed. What's being done to the Sudanese people, to my people, in this modern age is unprecedented. Unprecedented. And I can tell you stories upon stories, that's what this channel is about. But we're going to interview victims, and we're going to talk about places like Wadnoura and places like in Al Jazeera, where after they killed every single man, male, even if it's a child, male, they kill him and rape the women, and they poisoned the water without telling nobody. So when the people who fled came back, they got poisoned. That's how evil these people were. They entered a house, found a woman with her children, small children. They asked her about money or whatever her position. People poor. So she had nothing. So to make sure that she had nothing, She had to choose which one of the children they will start killing unless she tells them where she hid her money and her possessions. And because she doesn't have nothing, she will start losing her children one by one. I don't think this is good. The Zionists are doing, but this evil, they're doing it in Sudan. People fly all over from Colombia, all the way from Colombia, to come and kill your brothers and sisters from South Africa, from Australia. They join in this murdering, butchering of the Muslims in Sudan. People fly from all over as mercenaries, as security experts, signing contracts with the UAE to fly to come and kill your brothers and sisters. So, and you're doing nothing. It's a civil war, Muslim killing each other. I'm telling you, it's not. Don't believe me. I don't want you to believe me. The same way that I'm saying to you, be as selfish as you can. Go and search. Find out. Ask the victims. Not what puppets or propagandists tells you. Ask the victims. Who done that to you? They're available. I am a victim telling you this. I was captive. The people with me in captivity, only 3 of us came out. The rest between killed or in Yemen, in Niala. So I really ask you to investigate about this and to try to help us out, not us only, yourself out by spreading the word. Try to shed a light. Part of the war in Sudan is actually to hide the truth about the rest of the world from the human consciences. So spread the word out. Show how evil the UAE and the Zionists, they've been butchering and killing your brothers and sisters in Sudan. Try to tell everybody what's going on in Sudan and boycott the UAE. The same for what they're doing to your brothers and sisters. The UAE is the one leading the whole crimes in Sudan. Not my saying, not just my testimony. The UN, the New York Times, Washington Post, all these, they published, the Guardians, they told you, Middle East Eye, they've been publishing how the UAE is complicit. Not just the UAE, a lot of countries, they are complicit. A lot of Western countries, they're involved in this. They have a lot to gain by destroying Sudan, killing the people of Sudan. So I beg you, to go and investigate, spread the word out. Join us here in the right narrative, just to spread the word. Help us out in Sawaid, Helping Hands, which is the URL. You'll find it in the description, and it's also here. We'll put it for you on the screen, sawaid.org. And help yourself, at least, by doing what you're supposed to be doing as a Muslim for your brothers and sisters. We are one body, one unit. And when I was, I did an interview with Muhammad Hijab. And when I was there, forgot the name of the brother who does the Smile to Jannah. He asked me a question about what did you come with from that experience, the near-death experience, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected you and saved you, which He did. I said to him, it doesn't matter what is happening. It doesn't matter what we've been going through. It was a matter, it's a time. Just time. Because many years ago, one of my sheikhs was giving us a talk in the beginning of 2000, 2002, 2003. And he said, back then we were talking about the Islam itself. That is the Islam doesn't need us. The Islam doesn't need us. Allah doesn't need us. We need Allah. And we need the Islam. And the Islam is started from the beginning of the creation and will carry on until the day of judgment. And we are just a fraction of a second, just passed in that time spectrum. We just came and out. So we are irrelevant in that period of the beginning of the Islam until the day of judgment. We are really irrelevant until we as an individuals make ourselves relevant by doing something towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not for subscribers, not for gains, not for returns, not for fame, for Allah. When we do something with sincerity, that we do it so sincere, that is, at least it will become our excuse in that day of judgment when we stand in front of Allah. I gave you, this is a very long talk, but I'm sorry for that, but it's so critical and important, because when you start investigating about this issue, you will realize that it is huge, and it will shock you. But the shock is not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is this type of fitna that we are in now. That is actually we're blind. We're blinded from seeing our own realities. Our reality, that is what is important, our priorities, that is what is important for us, that what we will be asked on in the day of judgment, and what we will be, the sins, or what we will be asked on is multiple levels, different levels, sins and good deeds, but the things which is we are obliged to do, our obligation, our very reason of our creation. If we fail that, there is nothing else matter. It doesn't matter how much you do charity. It doesn't matter how much you pray. It doesn't matter how much you fast. If you fail the whole purpose of your creation, then that's it. by normal logic, if you have something, my phone rang when I was talking, but if this phone did not fulfill the whole purpose of its making, then it doesn't matter what else I can do with it. Because the whole point of it is communication. If it doesn't do the communication, then what is the point of it? So we've been created for specific reasons. And the fitna that we are going through now, we let our God on the whole purpose of our creation. That's why you will see people focusing on a small detailed matter and become so fixated to it that they neglect the whole rest of the major stuff. That small thing divide groups, and the people, they're so fixated in so small things that actually dismantle the whole principle of the ummah and the jama'atul muslimin, the unity of the Muslims. And what does that mean as a unity of Muslim? The body does not understand that is the bottom of the hand hurts. I will give it more attention than the end of the elbow, because some people, the end of the elbow is black, but the bottom of the hand is white. So the body doesn't see it that way. This hurt, that hurt is the same. Give you pain and fever, wherever it is, which part of the body it is. So we will be asked, period. Prepare for it. Save yourself. Prepare your answer. It doesn't matter what your excuse is, it's your excuse towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I hope and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this be very light talk to you, and hopefully it awaken our heart and open eyes on what's going on in Sudan. I will be publishing from now on a lot of videos about Sudan and about what's going on and how Sudan is relevant. Why Sudan is being attacked so much? Why is Sudan being under so severe sanctions since 1983? You didn't know about. Even some Sudanese, they don't know about. Why all this happening? Why Sudan? Why not other countries? Which is, we don't want it for no other countries, but I'm talking why they targeting Sudan specifically. They split it in two, and now they want to split it for other four, which is failed. They want to take it over, failed. So let's kill the people of it. All 50 million of them. Nobody cares. But does it? Forgive me for talking for so much. It's a very sensitive subject to me. And it's very important as well to tell it, to awaken the people about it. And I really, really need your help to spread the word out and I need your help to stand with us, because by myself I can't do that. And we need to really show that we as Muslims, when we stand up, we do stand up. We protect each other. We protect every single person in need for our help. It doesn't matter what they believe, but that is our duty as a Muslim. So help us out. Join us in our cause. Join Sawa'id, Helping Hands, and join the right narrative, which is meant for shedding a light on this kind of crisis, telling the truth, the truthful story. Thank you very much. Jazakum Allah khair. May Allah protect us all and guide us all and save all our ummah and unite it again. We don't want to be the one in fitna. We want to be the one helping the people coming out of fitna. Assalamu alaikum.